All right, y'all. Lil Man Tate has got to go down. NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? We've got geek, we've got hip hop, but today we are setting it down to talk about some on-screen action with power. And before we get into that gangster-ish, I want to talk straight up about Tate. You know, Rashad Tate. You know, the name you know, if you will. Homie is dirty. Now, if you haven't seen Luke Cage season 2 or you haven't seen The Wire, straight up, homie is on some political dirtiness like either Mariah Stokes or Senator Clay Davis. And I think these situations are gonna play out pretty similar because Tate gonna have to go sooner or later, because this whole thing with being like, yo, I want y'all to do this press conference. All right, come on down. And Ghost was like, yo, man, look, my wife, you know, she ain't feeling it right now. I don't know, but I'll talk to her. I will see. And when he was like, well, I'm gonna just have another event. Why don't y'all come? Come on, y'all. We knew he was lying. Ghost should have knew he was lying. And in this case, we know Ghost is smart. So the only thing I can think is Ghost wants to be clean so bad that he's making himself vulnerable and gullible when it comes to this dude, Rashad Tate, man. I do not see how he did not see that coming. Like, everyone, you were watching the show, I was watching the show. We both like, you know you're walking into an ambush, right? You know the second there's gonna be mad cameras and stuff there, right? You know he's gonna put you on stage, right? We knew that. So, I don't know, Tate gonna have to go, and Tate might end up dead. I don't know, man. These some gangster streets, you never know. But I wanna move on to the family and how they're dealing with this tragedy, which it reminds you how much, especially on Tasha's side, how much is breaking her and how much we're dealing with a situation where she might be trying to get rid of Tariq as far as going away because she doesn't want to resent him, because I think the resentment is already setting in. And Ghost is, you know, dealing with it a very different way, especially at the end of the episode where we see, you know, he definitely has to get it out, but he is not trying to get it out in the healthiest of ways. But I guess if you got to get it out in an unhealthy way, you can sort of help out another man who was probably going to commit murder sooner or later. So you kept him out of the darkness. It was a situation, and I know Ghost is not a superhero, but Ghost took that darkness upon himself so that man didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Hov did that, so he ain't had to go through that. So anyway, get that out of the way. I did want to talk about Angela and Tosh real quick. Seeing their frenemy relationship continue, especially with figuring out like who knew what, who knew about Tariq, who knew about the dirty cop, all that stuff, and trying to see where it goes, because they're not attached to the hip, but they're connected and probably will be connected for quite some time, at least into the, wait, hold up, there's no statute of limitation on murder, so they're gonna be attached for a minute, at least in a very, very loose sense. They'll have to kind of keep each other from going to jail, at least for this, because if anything comes out, then everybody gonna go down. But it's interesting to see how much dirtier Angela's becoming, especially since like season, say 3 and 4, you know, seeing how much dirtier she's becoming while pretending like she's so, you know, just and right and everything. It's just like, she is so self-righteous. Good Lord, I cannot stand that girl. But you know what? Look, we hated on Angela last episode. We ain't gonna hate on in this episode. We're gonna let her ride because I got some Dre stuff to get to, and we gonna hate on Dre. So I also want to talk about how good it is to continually see the trio, you know what I'm saying? And it's been referred to as an unholy trinity of course, Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan. I still think Kanan is, I'm warming up on him, but I just can't trust Kanan, man. We have not been able to trust Kanan the whole series. You can't expect me to turn around in like 2-3 episodes and be like, yo, Kanan cool now. I just don't know like that. So I gotta stay reserved. But it is good to see them together, just without fighting, without the arguments, without shooting at each other, without all of that. It has like it's, even though we didn't see it, them remarking on their good times makes us sort of feel for those good times. So I quickly want to touch on that the Italians, the Port of LA stuff, all of this stuff with the, you know, the port, the new shipments, the connect, all of that, and especially with Tommy on his side getting those 2 shooters hit and having to take a bigger cut and, you know, having to get punched in the face and all this and having to kind of humble himself because you can't move in the Italian family the way you move with Ghost. With Ghost, it was you and him. Y'all were at the top. Y'all did what y'all wanted. But in this, there is a different organization going on where you can't just do what you want. The reason they stay out of jail is due to their organization. Then on Dre's side, seeing how he's not in as much control as he thinks he is. And I'm gonna touch on this in a moment after the jump, but I'm glad that we're seeing some chinks in the armor of Dre's organization because I was tired of seeing him shine like he was all that. But before we move forward, of course, we're gonna take a break, let y'all get a beat, check out some shirts, hats, and hoodies from, of course, KURO Brand, who is gonna help us pay them bills. Yeah, check that link below. Hat, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. Once you find something you like, of course, cop it. So, Dre. Yeah, this is my thing with Dre, and I was so happy with I think it's 2-Bit or whoever, that in this episode that went and shot old boy on the street. I am so glad. This is why I'm so glad. Because see, Dre thought, if I'm the man, if I'm running things, then everybody will listen to me and I'll do whatever I want and I'll be in charge. That's not how leadership works. See, leadership is also the people that think that you don't know what you're doing. Leadership is also the people that think that you are incompetent or think that their way is a better way or think that maybe they should be in charge instead. Remember, the way you thought about Ghost is the way someone is thinking about you right now. So I love the position he's in. And I want to see how this position revolves and evolves around, of course, the Jimenez, and evolves with him and his employees since they work for him, and seeing how that plays out, because we see what he did to Ghost. Could it happen to him? He's definitely not as, I don't think he's as smart as he thinks he is. And I think that's going to get him in a lot of trouble, especially because he doesn't have the same level of crew that Ghost had. And also, he didn't have the mannerism that Ghost had. I did want to touch on, the whole weird sex thing. You know, this is a family show, but the sex thing was just weird, y'all, right? That was weird. Like, I mean, I'm not like against sex, but I mean, if somebody's getting their sex on, you know what I'm saying, getting freaky, doing their thing, I ain't trying to just come in and just be peeping it out and watching. So I thought it was weird. I think it was a way to show how weird the Jimenez are and how weird, can't remember old dude, Diego's name, Diego, how weird Diego is, but it's just strange. And then sending the girl with him to have sex with him, then it's weird. I think it was just a way to show how maybe unhinged or off he is, but it just seemed strange. It seemed almost out of place in a series that was very sexually charged in, like, say, the first 2 seasons, but we've moved away into more of a kind of like crime drama, and now seeing that back it just seemed kind of like it came out of nowhere. But of course it was supposed to be like that for Dre, because Dre was supposed to be caught off guard and all that, but it just seemed weird because Diego's just weird. And 2 more things before I bounce. Of course, holler at me down in them comments, let me know what you're thinking, but what do you think about the therapy? Tasha needs something. She's gonna need something to get by, to get through, to get over. So she's gonna need someone to talk to, someone to help her deal, and Ghost is not letting her do that or hindering her growth from being able to do that. And I don't know how this is gonna play with her, because if she breaks down, then what next? I mean, Ghost is literally gonna be on his own. And I know Ghost is kind of like, I got this, but Ghost Center has always been his home life. That has been his anchor. So if she's gone, then what? Because we see the whirlwind is put, in this atmosphere with just Raina being gone. So I think Tasha needs her outlet, her catharsis more than Ghost thinks she needs it. And it's better for her and for him more than he knows. And then lastly, the statement from Kanan about Tariq being gangsta. Is he though? Is he though? Is he really gangsta? Or is he one of those kids that came up sort of in the suburbs, pretty well to do, but always saw the street life as something that was cool, not something that he had to do? Now, people have said many times that some steal for sport, more steal to eat. Well, the people that steal for sport are doing it because they think it's cool. It's edgy. It gives you a rush or whatever. Tariq has never had to live this life. He's just always thought it was cool. And to me, that doesn't make him gangster just carrying out a few actions. Robbing a couple people, setting up a couple people doesn't particularly make you gangster. I mean, being gangster is something that's sort of in you. It's something that just, it's almost innate at times. Now, of course, you can learn. There are things you can act out. You can have tendencies of gangsterism. Yeah, I said it. You can have tendencies of gangsterism, but I don't think it's in Tariq. Tariq has always been the very emotional. You know what? Tariq is Kylo Ren. Tariq is the Kylo Ren of power. That's it. I'm gonna leave it right there. So holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you down in them comments. Let's talk about power. Oh man, episode 2 is straight good. I want to see a lot of people get what's coming to them. But before I bounce, I gotta tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt player. And don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that NERDSoul. That's right, there's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, an old warehouse is nowhere and no place and no good area for healthcare. Peace.